You were completely muted out for that bit, which I hated, and now I think we're back up. So
for that entire bit?
No. For a good bit of it.
Where did I leave off?
All
right, let's just start from the top. Hey, everybody.
Brews and
Welcome back.
Baseball.
We have just started the show. Nothing bad has happened yet. We have trustworthy brewing company, the Brass Jar Hoppy Amber. It is a beer made with Mandarina, Bavaria, and Chinook hops. I was explaining at the top that anything Chinook for a Northwest boy like me, obviously a plus. Chinook's a great fish. Chinook is a great hop. I enjoy it. 8% ABV, and it's an amber ale, which is kind of interesting. 8%, even more than a lot of the IPAs out on the market. So personally, I'm very excited about it. And the little blurb on the side of the can, if you will allow me to read it here.
This bruiser of a beer comes out swinging, with one fist tattooed with hops and the other tattooed with malt. After a radiant red pour, you'll enjoy dank, earthy hops, toffee malt character, and a pleasantly dry finish.
Red pour. Red pour.
And I feel like that's one that's the definition of right up your alley.
And you know what else is a beautiful thing? First and sippins for this beer right here. Are you ready, sir?
To a new year of Brews and Baseball.
I enjoy that very much.
I'm a really, really big fan of that.
I think the rating should be out of 80 because it's 8.0% ABV. 80 what? Maybe 80 brass jars? 80 technical difficulties? I'd say 80 technical
80 technical difficulties. It wouldn't be Brews and Baseball if we didn't have technical difficulties right off the bat. But hey, what's your rating?
And here's the reason why I'm giving this number. It's one thing to have a really good IPA because that's what I prefer. But it's another thing to have an exceptional beverage that's in a different category that I don't normally get. I'm going to give it a 73 out of 80. I think it's that good. Like, in a glass, in a can. It's a bold flavor, but it doesn't overwhelm you.
Exactly.
That's the key.
Exactly.
It's really smooth, particularly the finish. Like, it doesn't even feel like you're having a high ABV beer, to me.
I was going to open with a 69. And the reason I was going to open with 69 is because I was anticipating yours to be a lot lower. And because it's somewhat of an arbitrary number. It's a very nice number. I feel like I have to butt mine up because I'm not saying that I don't like it as much as you. That's inaccurate. That said, we're bumping mine up to a 74. We've got our second beer. And I think
we've got our second beer. We might as well introduce it, yeah?
Yeah, I think we might as well show the folks that we have not one, but two beers from Trustworthy Brewing Company. We've got our showroom ready Hazy IPA.
7.4 ABV, of course, from Trustworthy Brewing Company. Here's a little blurb.
It's always exciting driving a brand new car, and this Hazy IPA also doesn't disappoint. Crack open the can, and out pours a beer with a light golden color and a total lack of transparency. Fresh and juicy hop aromas fill your senses, followed by a light and pillowy texture and a very light bitterness. This is a Hazy IPA you will come to love. We will fix that in post.
In post.
It's going to be a different kind of beer than the other one. So I'm going to crack this open. First and pour in for the second beer. There's so many wires.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if you can see it, but the angle is not good. So at least you get to see the stream, not of the stream, but of my beer.
No, I'm just bad because I'm bad. We haven't done a first and sipping, have we?
We'll do we haven't done a first and sipping.
After this pitch? Question mark? Oh, boy.
I kind of shoved it in there. I think we have to do 74, but what is the 74 out of in terms of rating? 74 jazz chisms. Just an army jazz chism.
74 jazz. I mean, I don't hate that. I don't hate that idea.
I will say the citrusy, it's good, but the citrus didn't jump out as me as I thought it would.
Definitely
Based off of what the description said as well. I think it's still good. I don't think I'll rate it as high as the Amber Ale, if we're honest here.
Yeah, and this one was out of 74 Jazz Chisholms. So I give it 60 Jazz Chisholms. It's a really solid score. It's a really solid entry. I think the problem with this one is less to do with the beer itself and more to do with the beer we had before it, because when you do two beers on a show, that the second one becomes a victim of how good or bad the first one was. A victim or a benefactor. So if you have a really good first one, then the second one may not be as good, and vice versa. Probably the better one of the better amber ales that I've ever had. Certainly one of the better amber ales we've done on the show.
You gave it a 60?
60, yeah.
I might have to go across the board with you on that. I think that's the perfect number for it.
Making beer is not easy, and to those who can do it well, we give them props, and that's what we're about.